And welcome back to the Journey to the FarLands. Let's see, got everything together here? Yeah, okay, let's bust out of here. Winterland. Alright. I had, would you believe it, actually forgotten. Let's see, okay, west, there we go. And I saw burning zombie or skeleton up there on the hill. And yeah, I see a creeper too. I think we'll just avoid him. He gets rather excitable, you know. And that kind of excitement I personally could do without. In any event, here we are on episode 45 of the Journey to the FarLands. 5 more episodes until the episode 50 live stream celebration. The celebration of 50 episodes of the Journey to the FarLands. Even if they've been vastly broken up by ridiculous amounts of time off, it's still 50 episodes. And I'm gonna grab that and milk it for all it's worth. Because why not? Besides, I'm just looking for an excuse to live stream this thing, so why not? And let's see. Yes, the size of the world. It just occurs to me I should be paying attention to wood. The size of the world right now, the world save according to Minecraft, 1186.37 megabytes. And no, I'm not going to cut those things because I really don't want to go leaving a bunch of floaty treetops. It doesn't matter if I will never see this bit of terrain again, and therefore it's not such a big deal because I'll never come back here and I'll never have to look at them. I will know they're there. Never cared for the floating treetop thing. In spite of the fact that in my early Minecraft days, I left a fair number of floating treetops until sometime months later, I got rid of them all because I realized how terrible that looked, and I went out of my way to get rid of them. Let's see. That looks like it wants to be a cleaner way. Over there and go around the coast. Anyway, we are progressing, we're making progress, and we are just having a great old time. And there I go saying we again. Good gravy. But I suppose, in a way, it might be we, because you who are watching are, in a manner of speaking, sort of along for the ride. Along for the trip, whatever. And so I'll go along with that. Although that does bring to mind a comment on last episode, Mr. Brian. He says, picturing the Morpheus meme. So imagine Morpheus, you know, the Matrix, saying this. What if I told you there is no we in a single player LP? Yeah, I can just hear Morpheus saying that. You know what? I'm going to try to reuse this boat. Probably not a good idea. I do know the water channel will have to be at least 3 blocks wide to get the boat through it safely without breaking it. And I see that being a problem too. Alright, let's do this. Drop that. A little bit of creative water management here. Get rid of the running water. Turn it into still water. There we go. Refill the bucket and put it away. And here we go. Right through the channel. All right. Cool. Yes. Yeah, I could just see Morpheus saying that to Neo. You know, Neo's playing a game. Maybe he's recording a Matrix LP of something. And I can just see Morpheus pulling him to one side and staring him down through those inscrutable sunglasses with his hands behind his back. And he leans into Neo and gets right up in his face and says, "What if I told you there is no we in a single-player LP?" I can just see that scene happening. That would be priceless. And it would be cool if somebody were to make a short video clip actually enacting that. That would be funny as all get out. And then he says, or the Toy Story meme, tree poop. Tree poop everywhere. That one, I have to confess, I actually don't get the Toy Story meme. I don't, it doesn't ring any bells. It doesn't sound familiar at all. I have actually seen at least 2 of the Toy Story movies, but it's been a very long time ago, and I don't remember anything other than the sound of, I believe it was Tim Allen, looking at the other guy saying, "You are a sad, strange little man," or something to that effect. I don't know. I don't get that reference, so somebody will have to tell me what that one means. It's probably quite funny, I'm sure, but prejudiced or biased though it may be, I have to admit, preferring the Matrix reference with Morpheus. That was great. Let's see. Oh, yes, that's right. There is a question from a viewer. Let's see. Name is Super Cool Now. That's Super Cool NAO. Like Super Cool Now. Okay. The question is, and let me get into a better place to do this and actually read it and get it right. Okay. He asks, what are your views on ad blocking? Like, it's good for saving bandwidth and browsing faster, but also it denies revenue to sites and content creators. Well, I think that things like ad blocking, using ad block and any other software that's designed to suppress the appearance of advertisements in web content, is that it's an individual choice. You know, you're going to decide whether you will do that or not, and on what sites or videos or whatever that you will do that. I know that there's a lot of people that generally ad block almost everything except for, like, for example, YouTubers they're subscribed to, because they want to help support those people. Let's see. Let's at least get out here to this island. And then again, there's plenty of people that their opinion is no ad is a good ad, so we're just going to nuke all of them. And if that causes a problem for somebody, it's like, oh well, too bad, so sad, and so on. But personally, I don't generally bother with a whole lot of browser plugins like that. I have on occasion used ad blocking software, especially on websites that are filled with tons of it, to the point where it's actually difficult to navigate the actual, or see or find the actual legitimate content that you're looking for. You know, when I see something like that, turn the ad blocker on and nuke that stuff so that I can actually see the stuff I'm looking for. You know, and then seriously reconsider ever coming back to that site too. But for YouTube content creators, especially those I'm subscribed to and whose content that I really like and want to support, then I prefer keeping things like that disabled. I think that's probably a better idea. Whoa, world hole. But again, it's an individual choice. As for how much bandwidth it saves, I don't know. I'm sure it does save some, but is it that significant of an amount when the non-advertising content could be just as large, use just as many bytes or even more bytes than advertising does? I don't know. I actually literally don't know, so I'm just kind of talking so that my mouth will be making sounds that at least make sense to somebody, even if not to me. In other words, I don't really have a whole lot of opinion on it. I think that if there's a content creator you support, that you like, that you want to support, then one of the things you can do is disable ad blocking when you're watching that person's stuff or visiting their website or whatever. You know, it's just like another way you can support a content creator you like is to make it a point to hit like and share and favorite their videos and leave comments and stuff like that, because all of that is things that get taken into account by YouTube when determining how much attention and exposure a video needs to have or deserves or whatever. They take all that into account. They take into account the number of views. They take into account the number of minutes watched, how long a video was watched. You know, if say for example a 30-minute video, if a 30-minute video is only watched by most people for about 2 minutes, then I'm pretty sure they're going to give that video less attention than another 30-minute video that most people watch for 30 minutes. So that's the thing too, you know. So if you like someone's content, you know, if I like someone's content, then I'm gonna, generally speaking, I would be watching their entire video. In most cases, when watching content by people I'm subscribed to and wish to support, I will very often hit like before the video even starts because I like their content. And I want to be supportive, and so at the very least, I will hit like before the video even starts. And I'm not a big-time commenter, but I throw a few words out here and there. But, yeah, that kind of thing. But as for whether ad blocking is good or bad, well, it depends very much on the situation. If you're on a website that is so loaded down with advertising that you can't find the actual content that is supposed to be there, then ad blocking can be a very good thing, because it can remove all that stuff that's getting in the way of finding what you're there for. On the other hand, a lot of folks today on YouTube, when they monetize videos, and I can tell you myself, I personally do this. When I monetize my videos, there are a few, granted, very few, but there are a few choices that you can make when you're doing that. And this is not a very good situation. There are a few choices you can make, and one of those choices is the type of ads that will run, because there are basically, well, okay, there's two kinds of ads that run before, during, or after a video, and that is the kind you cannot skip, the kind that once it starts you are going to sit through it regardless, unless of course you decide to click off the video. And then there is the other kind that it runs for, after it runs for 5 seconds, you have the option to click a button on the video to skip the remainder of the ad and get back to the video that you want to watch. I always choose to monetize with the skippable ads, because I figure that's more viewer friendly. And besides which, when you're selecting ads, you can choose the non-skippable, but even there on the form, YouTube warns you this may increase viewer abandonment. Yeah, no surprise there. You know, it's like the advertisements and warnings that you see on DVDs when you go to watch a movie. I put a movie in, and the first thing you see is the FBI warning, and then you see another warning about copyright, and it plays, each one of them plays for like at least 30 seconds to a minute, and you can't skip them, you can't fast forward, you can't just jump to the next track. You can't just say, no, I want to go right straight to the menu. You can't do that, because if you do, you get this little red X on the screen every time you hit a menu button. They're not going to let you get away without watching that stuff. And, you know, as if anybody ever bothers to read that. Oh, yeah, I admit, I did actually read those things the first time I saw them. But not since then. It's like, please, let's just get off of this and get to the video that I actually want to watch. You know, I don't want to watch FBI warning and copyright warnings and previews for movies that have been out of date since a year after I bought the video. You know, I don't want to look at all that stuff. I just want to get to, you know, I put in Big Trouble in Little China. I don't want to see advertisements for other movies that I have never seen and don't want to see, or are as old or almost as old as the one that I'm trying to watch. No. I want to get to the stuff I want to watch. So that non-skippable thing is very non-viewer friendly. And so I try not to do, no, I don't try. I just don't do it. I never choose the not skippable ads. And as far as I know, I actually have never heard of anybody that does choose the ads you can't skip. And probably with good reason, because I can easily imagine that anybody choosing ads that you can't skip is not going to be gaining a whole lot of subscribers or anything like that. So I hope that somewhere in all of that, admittedly babbling about ads and ad block and stuff like that and so on, that somewhere in there is something that at least remotely resembles an answer to your question. Super cool. Now, I thank you for the question. It was a good one, a thought-provoking one, and it caused me to babble on for quite a while, which is good, because it's always good to have different and interesting things to talk about. But like I said, sitting here thinking back, I honestly don't know if I actually answered your question. Which is kind of ridiculous and a little bit sad, but there you have it. Alright, well, looks like we're going to have a waterborne hidey pole this time. Instead of beachfront, it's in front of the beach, out in the water, and in the rain. Isn't that lovely? At least it makes jumping out of the bed so much more guaranteed to be safe. Now there's a hidey hole for you. Alright. Okay. F1. Thumbnail. Or maybe it would be better angle from over here. Yeah, it would. Alright. Thumbnail. Ridiculous, I know, but why not? Did I just hear a arrow being fired? Or was that me hitting the keyboard wrong? Because I did that about that same time. Oh well. Onward. Onward and upward and outward and downward and over there word and FarLands word. Yeah, something like that. All right. Well, let's see, what else do we have going on here? Oh, yeah, that's right. I meant to actually to say something about this around the beginning of the video, and proceeded to not do that until just now. And that was, I'm sure that some, at least, have noticed that this is a lot later in the day than I normally like to put these up. But what happened was, I was working on a project on Hermitcraft Infinity, and trying to get some stuff done, having a little bit of difficulty that required me to spend a lot of time doing some Google searching and wiki reading and stuff like that to figure out which of the many things it is that I could have been doing wrong that I actually was doing wrong. I know I was doing something wrong because what I was trying to do didn't work. That's a sure sign you're not doing something right. Whoa. Yeah, like... Whoa, no you don't. No, you don't. Let's try a passage that is a little bit less hazardous to one's health. Although from this angle, I can see a slightly better path. All right, yeah. See if I can get down here without breaking anything. most notably myself. All right. That worked out pretty good. There. And yes, I had a good reason for killing the chicken. Because the only good chicken is a sandwich. And I just had to say that because that phrase has been bouncing around in my head for a week. And this is another thing that I can easily imagine this coming out in Morpheus' voice. The only good chicken is a sandwich. I can actually hear him say it. Hey, fun fact, trivia, concerning Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, as we all know. Would you like to know the first time I saw Lawrence Fishburne in a movie? It was a long time before The Matrix. Lawrence Fishburne was a lot younger. He had hair. And in the credits, he was listed as Larry Fishburne. The movie was A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 3. The Dream Warrior. Yeah, that's the thing. Lawrence Fishburne. Now, I don't know if this was his first movie or anything like that. I never bothered to look. But that's the first time I saw him. And I didn't realize that's who it was until sometime after seeing The Matrix, of course. And one of those many times when I just get this nostalgic, weird horror movie thing going on, and I will break out the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and have myself a little bit of marathon on Elm Street. And it was at the end of the movie, credits were rolling, and I was about to stop that one and put part 4 in, and I saw the name in the credits, and it just clicked. Larry Fishburne. Larry Fishburne. You don't mean Lawrence Fishburne? Well, as it turned out, after doing some searching online, it seems that is, in fact, the same person, that Larry Fishburne grew up to be Lawrence Fishburne. And yeah, a lot more somber and serious looking and very BA in that leather jacket and the shades and all that. And oh yeah. Yep, same guy. I don't know if that was his first movie or not. I never actually looked. I don't remember looking for that or not. I'll put it that way. I may have, but I don't remember doing so. But the fact that Lawrence Fishburne was once Larry Fishburne in A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, that stuck with me. Because, yeah, it was a cool little bit of trivia. It's just like there's some... I was going to say there was another person who got who I know did get his his movie making start in A Nightmare on Elm Street movie. I know who I'm talking about, but I can't think of his name, which is ridiculous, but it's true. I mean, I've seen a bunch of movies with this guy in them. He's a reasonably famous individual. And the only thing I can think about him right now is that he was in Pirates of the Caribbean. He was like one of, if not the lead guy in Pirates of the Caribbean. And his first movie was A Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. Because in the credits you see introducing, and this guy's name. He played a teenage high school kid whom Freddy got to, in terms of this guy fell asleep listening to music and looking at the TV, and he got sucked into the bed. And then there was this huge geyser of blood coming up out of the bed. And it was like 4 inches deep on the ceiling and crazy stuff like that. And just really over the top. But that's Freddy for you. Always over the top. Oh, hey, I need to be getting under the top here, as in into a hidey hole here, because I just realized it is turning night on the 3rd day. All right, here, how about this? There we go. All right, well, another bit of progress to the FarLands. Well, I'll put it this way. I had fun talking. I hope you had fun listening. I sincerely do hope, Mr. Super Cool Now, that I managed to actually at least approach answering your question. Oh, that was brilliant. Put the light up first before you close the door, you nit. All right. Okay. Okay. I don't know why it is, but whenever I'm like making something in a crafting table, I find it so difficult to focus that I can't seem to talk and craft at the same time. Have you ever had that problem? Have you ever noticed a problem like that? I notice it all the time. All right, put that down. Let's get this. All right, well, in any way, I thank you for watching. I thank you very much for all of your support and donations to Child's Play Charity and Family in Need and such. And we'll be back again soon to continue this epic journey to the FarLands. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.